Hello and welcome to Neuro-Heretical Wargaming. My name is Brenden. Today I'm joined by absolutely no one. We're just kind of vibing tonight, building the Krieg Command Squad. So, welcome to stream. I hope you guys are nice and relaxed, and let's do some building. At least as much as my admittedly small supply of glue will allow. I'm getting quite low. Let's see. Hello, Wanting Fire. Welcome to the stream. Always nice to have you. Let's see. I need my hobby knife. But yes, after a while, Krieg are returning to the stream. Put on so I can listen to some of the music, because I don't get to usually. That's what I should have bought. I bought some stuff from Amazon today. I should have got a wireless headset. Though. Oh, hello, Perky. Welcome to the stream. Don't appear to be hearing anything. There we go. All right. Empty box. All right, Krieg Command Squad. Get going here. Little Krieg transfer sheet. I don't think I've ever actually used. All right. Hey, Tim. How's it going? Rick says, why couldn't the pony sing in the choir? It was a little hoarse. So funny, Perky. So very funny. Alright. Got a couple small ones today. But first, looks like we've got the Commissar. Or Lord Commissar, I should say. Oh, part 5, 3, and 4. Tim said I did a thing. I started a space elf army. Which kind? Start Drukhari or Eldar, Harlequins. I guess it's technically Eldar, but you know what I mean. There's actually a fairly decent variety in doing space elves these days, funnily enough. Piece four. There it is. Let's see. Tristan asked if the rain stopped. I think it actually ultimately did. When I originally sent that to the Discord, it was like coming down. I was like, I don't know what it's gonna look like outside. ended up just deciding to hold off painting a little today and just get these guys built instead. But I wasn't technically forced to. Those right in there. I figure I get one more guard thing done before I have to devote my next like week and a half to getting orcs ready for the release stream. Which reminds me, I will also have to find a what you call it. Oh shoot, what would you call it? I'll have to find a I don't even know. I just gotta get everything painted. Mentally, I seem to be not fully present, so I do apologize for that. 6. Number 6 seems like number 6. Let's see. Tim is saying it will be a Corsair fleet of the Sunblitz Brotherhood. Very nice. That reminds me, I need to read what's it, Void's Guard? The actual Corsair book they put out. I heard it was really good. I did just finish a Talarn book and it was not really good. Wouldn't recommend that one. Fortunately, I was hoping it was good, but it was, shall we say, not. Alright, then he can have a power fist or a power sword. I'm gonna give him the power fist. Power fists are fun. I was gonna say, these days for Eldar you can do like, you have quite a few different options you can do as far as theming, which is nice, especially for a Xenos faction. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of Eldar books in general, to be fair, Tim. I think they're relatively rare, unfortunately. At least with them as like the central protagonist. I think they show up as side characters pretty often, but hello, orange color scheme. Yeah, fair. Got a bit of a yellow painting, but I guess I could finish the Infernus Sergeant. We'll see how we feel. Forgot he wasn't like done. 13. Orange, you glad you picked that? Very clever. Very so very clever, Bertie. All right. Part number 12. It's 21. There's 12. And 14. You're gonna use a different plasma pistols on here. always some of my least favorite to attach. Looks better than the one on the Krieg kit though, so at least there's that. Alright, got that. Let that dry for a second. This comes down here. Connects kind of there and into his fist. Neat. Put a little glue there. Snap of the glue there. And that will just go like that. Perfection. Okay. Then we need 1 and 2. Goes on like that. All right. Vampire says green may be my favorite, but I do love me a good orange. I mean, honestly, kind of same. Covenant Fire is honestly one of my favorite Salamander successors. In part due to their kind of the orange armor. I feel like orange is just tricky. For a lot of factions, very bright orange just looks weird. I say that, I have an entire, like, group of bright orange dudes for my guard, so, yeah, no. That music change threw me off. Thought something was up. Well, Tim, you know, obviously, we'd love to see it. In progress and when it's done. Wine Fire says, made an Ultramarine successor that are orange with white shoulders. Very nice. Actually, you seem to homebrew a lot, from what I remember. It's been a minute since we talked about it, but have you checked out Astartes Anonymous, at least recently? Because they do a lot of homebrew stuff, and I think you could be kind of up your alley a little bit. Been watching a lot of their like homebrew content lately. It's nice. It's interesting. I feel like it's part of the hobby that we here don't necessarily engage with super often, which is a little unfortunate. Like I know I do so a little bit with my Templars and stuff, but not to the same level they do. All right, so now we have the Junior Commissar. It's Frankie the Fish. Welcome to the fish, Frank. Oh, that'd be really cool to see, Tim. Tim says this project will be he'll be posting in the Discord with a kind of a flow board with thoughts and paint recipes. Yeah, fair enough. 15, 16, 17. 15. 16. Oh, look at that. 17. Perky says their space sharks have arrived. Very nice. You know what? That reminds me, Perky. I need to do my weekly check to see if my Vestronians have shipped. Come along on this journey with me, everyone, and let's see how upset I am. You guys ready for this? Here we go. Oh, I gotta log in. Give me a second here. And oh, there's my orders. Still processing. Still processing. Yes, Frankie. I don't know if you were watching us at that point, actually. I have ordered some Vistorians. I'm going to do kind of a Cossack light infantry sort of thing when they inevitably get in. With the made to order from back in May. However, unfortunately, I did not order it until basically, like, I think literally the last day they were made to order. So they are going to take a while to get here, which is probably fine. Guard isn't in the best state, and while I do find it still decently fun to play, it is a bit rough feeling right now. And plus, orcs look fun, thematic, and silly. So kind of fine taking a break and playing them for a while, to be honest. Alright, and then your leg goes right in there. Get more glue. Like I said, we're gonna do whatever glue can do today. Then we'll do something. I don't know what. I don't know. We'll see what time it is when we get that. I think that gets done. Yeah, 11th is a bit rough for guard. You know, -1 to hit is hard. Losing out benefits of cover, hurts our saves. Like it's not an easy addition for guard by any stretch of the imagination, unfortunately. But yes, Wanting Fire Stories Anonymous is a great show. I think you would enjoy a lot. Frankie the Fish. Today we're working on Krieg Command Squad. Gonna get done as much as I can until I run out of glue. Because I am low. And I don't think it's coming in till tomorrow or Thursday. Sounds right. Then 18 and 19. Actually, no, I could pull out my big old bin of sprues, and we could just like clean that up. 19. That could be the stream. I also have a new shelf coming in. It won't come in until after next week's stream, I believe. It'll be very neat. That might be the entire stream, is me just maybe we'll do a fun Thursday hangout stream. You guys can help me organize my shelf. That could be interesting. Seen some booktubers do that, so. Yes. This is a gas mask especial. That 21 and 20. Oh, interesting. It's having to glue the arms on before the weapons. That's unusual. Kind of funny. This guy's just counted as a veteran guardsman, like not even. That's be good. I'll finally have a unit that's not a commissar that can attach to my Krieg. That is a bit of an issue with trying to do the very Krieg heavy list is order economy is a pain in the butt. Right. So he can actually have. This guy has a weird number of weapon options, actually. So we could do either a las pistol, a bolt pistol, or a plasma pistol. For his pistol, and then as for his melee weapon, he can do either a chain sword, a power sword, or a trench club. I think I'm actually just gonna do plasma and power sword. I really like how the power sword looks for him. And big plasma is just better. Oh, since we've got a few of you here, how do you guys feel about the Space Marine changes? Ooh, that's what we could do. If we finish this, we could look over some of the stuff for the Orcs Codex. That'd be how we chill out. Depending how long this takes. So far, it's going pretty quick. No, is this gonna make me choose between a Flamer and a Meltagun? My two favorite weapons in this game? This isn't good, chat. This isn't good. Purgasaur says Space Marines are the bestest. I mean, I can't disagree, obviously. And the bestest, as everyone knows, is of course the Black Templars. But I feel like it is fair to say that this recent change has been accompanied by some, shall we say, I can't think of the word. I had it in my head as I typed it out. Well, you know what I mean. Maybe. Controversy. That's what I'm looking for. It has been accompanied by some controversy. So, I would say it is technically toughness creep. I think that's fair to say. I'm just not sure. I don't know. I'm of two minds about it, right? Like, I understand some other factions. It's going to be a struggle for some other factions. That's just facts, right? Like, it's going to be a struggle for some other factions. But at the same time, I don't know. It's just they're doing something different, and it makes Space Marines feel. Because I feel like the problem with Space Marines is they're treated for a long time. They were treated as the baseline for 40k balancing, for better or worse. For better or worse, they were treated as the baseline, and I think that made them feel kind of squishy. Like, obviously, like Guard and Eldar to a certain degree, and normal Tau that aren't suits are like the squishiest factions. But that's like a core part of their identity anyway, so it doesn't feel weird that they're squishy. I feel like it feels a little weird that Guard is that Space Marines were as squishy as they were, if that makes sense. Wildfire says, I've only seen stuff about the Thomas 5 and the Intercessors, but it seems pretty cool. I'm definitely not complaining. Interesting that the Intercessors have 2 bolt rifle profiles. I think that's honestly the part that might be the biggest issue, is actually the bolt rifles getting 2 different profiles, because that's like the biggest strength increase for them. But yeah, they confirmed Tacticus Marines are going to be T5. Phobos Marines are going to be T4. Terminators are going up to T6. I don't know if Gravis is staying at 6 or if they're going up to 7. I would imagine they stay at 6 though. 344. Hey, look, found it. Like I said, we'll kind of have to wait and see a little bit. It'll be interesting to see with like Crusader squads what those end up looking like. I'm afraid they're going to be horrendously expensive. All I know is that basically all the lists I've made isn't going to exist. Frankie says, thanks. Space Marine T5 just a sign of general power creep Warhammer. I think they just stretched the power scale. Now Marines are just catching up. I think that's fair. Like I said, I think for a long time Marines were kind of the baseline that everything else was balanced around. So I think I would agree with that statement. Perky says, I want my Ravenwing to have 6 toughness. Oh, I guess. Are bikes tougher? Or they just have more wounds? Frankie says Gravis can't be tougher than Terminators. I think they have been for this entire edition. That's why I'm a little unsure if they're going to get a toughness buff. I think for 10th, early 11th technically, they've been T5. Terminators have been, and then Gravis was T6. I could be wrong. I don't run either very often. Let's see. Tim says kind of the same thing. I always had a problem with Termi were T5, Termi were T7, but Gravis was T6. Never made sense to me. Yeah, it feels weird. It really feels like it should go, Tacticus, Gravis, Terminator, just to be like, Tacticus base armor, Gravis are just slapping more on it, and then like Terminators are like built to be tough. So I guess I could kind of see them being like the same, because what they could end up doing rules wise, like game design wise, is having Gravis be the tough ranged option, while Terminators are the tough melee option. Because even the like regular ranged Terminators are still very melee focused, because they all have power fists. Yeah, exactly. It seems backwards. Like it doesn't feel. Yeah, it's weird. There's really no other way to kind of put it. 45. I am a little glad, because this does mean that Sword Bros will be T5. And I'm still expecting them to kind of stick to the whole melee blender thing. So it'll be nice that they have a little extra toughness, because their biggest problem has been they're like glass cannons. So we'll have to see how that goes. Shut up, Tim. I didn't ask you any questions. I do love how like ratlings are T2. You look at them, they look at them wrong, and they just explode. Bush says, okay, save my game. I need to build my way towards the next Hags Maxine list. Should I start with Mace Sacrosants or Flamer Paragons? I don't know how big. Sounds like you already have them. Actually, I don't know for sure. Are you like buying them, or you already have them? You're just deciding what order to build them. Because I would say, how badly do you want to hate the build? Because me personally, these ones haven't been so bad. But me personally, like human size, like regular human size minis can drive me up a wall sometimes. Like anyone who was here last week that was watching me build Cathay, that was driving me up the wall a little bit. And they're not even that bad. It will be interesting to see if the Rhino is getting a new kit. I think it might be. Ultimately, we'll have to see. We don't know for sure, but okay. Tris says the boxes are in front of me. I put my vote, Tristan. I put my vote in the sacristans. That's what I vote for. Just because I think they're very neat minis. Even though they may, as I said, drive me up the wall if I ever had to build one. Alright, I gotta choose between a Flamer and a Melta. I think the Melta's gonna win. I think the Melta wins, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, the Melta gun. I need to add more music. I feel like I've said that before. I have to like sit down and do it, and it's a whole thing. And get my wife to help, but definitely like the kind of jazzy vibes. I like that. I've heard that rumor too, Perky, about the Land Raider getting a refresh, which I mean, I just want it to stay this around the same size. I don't want it to get much bigger because it'll be a pain in the butt. But like play-wise, however, that thing needs a new kit. Oh my god, did I hate building like the one I actually had to build. My Crusader is the only Land Raider, only like 40k Land Raider I've built. I think so very much. Differently. Or I guess he doesn't have the grooves. Ah, biscuits. Now see, this is part of why I hate doing human minis. Oh, thanks, Perky. I know you live for our pain. I've noticed. Sorry, I missed a couple things because I had to plug my phone in. Tristan says, Sax it is. I'm making that a quote. Sorry, Tristan. It'll be immortalized, maybe. I don't know if I did that right. Perky says, I wouldn't mind a new Rhino. Just don't make the Rhino on the Land Raider substantially bigger. Exactly. That's what I wouldn't want more than anything. The Land Raider specifically. Rhino, fine. It could be a little bigger. But the Land Raider is already at the edge of unplayable. It can't get much bigger and like be reasonable and be fun to play. I want to make sure this quote goes right. So I want this immortalized. I want... And this is the very, like, stuff you guys come here for, obviously. Clearly. Well played, Perky. He's a Saxville Baggins. There's a way to add quotes. Should be, hold on. I'll figure out. Get chat. Quote add, that's what it is. No underscore, apparently. There we go. Fine, that should work. That should work. Let's see. Perky says, "Fool of a took." expect it. Not surprised at all. Yeah, see, so Frankie, mine, the little ramp mechanism, it survived the pain process, but it literally broke on me like 3 or 4 months ago, and I had to finally like glue it shut. It was cool, but it never lasted long. Let's see. Tim says, "Did you see they redid the legends?" Yeah, so they added dreadnoughts. I'm pretty sure that's just the name of the regular, like the old box dread. I guess it was technically the venerable dread, but yeah, they did put that back in. Apparently, they missed it last time, which unsurprising, unfortunately. Rumor is we're getting a new venerable dread. I will be looking forward to that. I do enjoy my dreadnoughts. Tristan says, makes me think of that awful purge list I shared a few weeks back. Looks at penitent host rules. Sacks it is. Respect. See the vision for Alice. Guess I was supposed to glue him down earlier. We'll do that now. Oh, guys, I am so excited for the Orcs Codex. I straight up on Saturday ordered 2 flyer kits so I could have 2 Waz Bombas. And oh boy, am I excited to run those in the Flyboys attachment. The enhancements so they're riled up every time they fly in. Oh, I'm gonna do so much havoc. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be so much fun. Hey, we got a new subscriber at some point. Probably just hanging out, being all quiet, but hey, welcome to Neuro-Heretical Wargaming. We're glad to have you. Alright, how is the stream going? All's good. Sweet. Alright, this is the weird chemical guy. Oh wait, I didn't do his backpack. Hold on. I'm skipping steps, guys. I'm skipping steps. That's not a lot. Hold on. 47. It's this backpack. This pack here. I don't know if it's an assault pack. More of a rucksack, maybe. It looks more like a rucksack. It could be an assault pack. Could be an expanded assault pack. Looks like it's kind of got necessary. I guess probably has got his lickies and chewies in there. Like he got what he need, but not much else. You know what I'm saying? Side for a second. Where it is? 7 goes there. So many little pieces. I'm going bananas. Itty bitty little pieces, everyone. Freaky to Fish says, I wanted the new truck, but the price is me thinking proxies now. Pick up some bikes and WASDAC it though. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, the more prices, or the truck price is not ideal. Especially for something you could potentially want several of. But price of business, unfortunately, I guess. My tweezers. Thought I had them. Wipe might have stolen them back. Definitely came in here and dropped them off at some point. That's why I'm a little confused. Whatever. It'll buff, guys. It'll buff. I'm debating if I want some of the bikes or not. I really don't know. Because I think right now, the kind of core of my... Dogs are off. The kind of core of my army is the... I've got my mech boys. I've got Heretical Rot. And I have... Alright, I have another guy done. I've got Grots, I've got mech boys / dreads, and I guess now I've got flyers. I think that's a pretty solid, like, 3-year plan I want to work on. Obviously, plus a bunch of boys and stuff like that. Perky, you say I ordered a few things, but knowing you, a few things, like your definition of a few and my definition of a few are probably two different things, I think. I'm trying to figure out what to do with this light. I saw one of these that had a light like on the camera. I might invest in that eventually. Perky says, yeah, I'm trying to do Cult of Speeds, multiple trucks kind of plan. That's fair. Like you're doing... That's its own. There's like so many attachments. There's the Speed Freaks attachment, which is for like the buggies and everything, and buggies and bikers, I think. But there's also one for like trucks and battle wagons and gun wagons. They're two different things now, as well. So you got a lot of options, honestly. The fact that I don't know if you know or not, but for the Orc Codex. All of the detachments are 1 DP except for Warhorde. Warhorde is 3. But everything else is 1. So it is a hyper flexible codex. I mean, for all we know, this is kind of the norm, but it's kind of weird going from this, like, 2 DP detachment era to largely 1. Oh no, there's some hair in this guy. Whatever. We'll live forever. I don't know if it's mine or the dogs or my wife. So much hair in this house, people, let me tell you. Yeah. Bring fishes, yeah. If I expand the orcs, it'll be mechs and dreads, maybe killicans. Hell yeah. So you guys are going to see a lot of this, not this coming Sunday, but the next Sunday. I have a very fun list idea for the Orc Dread attachment, Flyboys, and the Gretchen Swarm, whatever it's called. It's going to be delightful. You guys are going to love it. I mean, Tim, you don't have to order a Revenant Titan. You can. I'm not going to stop you, but you don't have to. Funnily enough, Scott got to play with one a while ago. I say a while ago, this is back in like 9th edition. But at the time, our local shop had like the old armor cast ones, or had one that someone was selling. And we were doing Thanksgiving, and Scott went and talked to the owner and was like, can I run that for Thanksgiving? And the owner was like, hell yes, you can. $30? $30. Head always looks bald to me, but it's technically not. Oh, I hope so, Tristan. I hope so. It would be cool, Tim. You're not wrong. You're completely right. It would, in fact, be amazing. Yeah, like I said, I'm curious if 1 DP is going to be the norm going forward. The 1 DP detachments in the Orc Codex look way stronger than the ones we got previously. So that might just be the case, which will be interesting. Which, I mean, I like. All the rules we've seen so far are very flavorful and good. So what more can you ask for, really? Perky says for orcs they got Nazdrag. Respect. Probably gonna pick that up with the Codex myself. 6 war bikers. They got. What size box do they come in? I think groups of 3 or. I thought they were groups of 5, to be honest with you. Maybe they're probably groups of 3. Same as Outriders, I bet. So basically 2 boxes of those, 3 boxes of trucks, and then Codex Orcs is all I ordered. My man, that's like $500. See, and then Bringing the Fish says, since the Blood Angels attachment is 3 DP, I have to start considering the 1 DP combos, and the orcs seem to be built around it. Yeah, that's why I'm very much thinking that that's going to be kind of the norm going forward. Obviously, we'll have to like wait and see what that actually looks like. But I have a strong feeling that, and I like that. It's a lot of, like I said, lets you come up with a lot of combos, which is always fun for, you know, competitive gamey side list building, and then it lets you get like hyper specific with your, like theme list building, and that's great too. Like, I don't know, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. As long as the detachments are good. Because my worry after the... I'll go count that arm. Because I was kind of worried after the edition launch. A lot of the free 1DP detachments were kind of meh. Like, personally, they just weren't hugely exciting to me. For the most part. So, but we'll see. All we can do is wait and see. I definitely do want to see what Space Marines are going to look like. Space Marines, if you play any kind of Space Marine, you're going to be eating very good. Because they're basically getting... Basically the entire Space Marine range is getting redone. At least a little bit. Like, I know... Grey Knights and CSM, I believe, are getting just kind of like the toughness updates. And probably some weapons changes. Like to bolters and stuff. So that'll be pretty decent. T5 Grey Knights with 2-up save are going to be very scary as like guard. Like, it's going to be very, very scary. CSM a little less so, but they'll still be good. But all the divergent chapters, so like Dark Angels, Black Templars, Blood Angels, they didn't specifically call out Death Watch, who only knows what they're planning with them. But all of those guys are getting their codexes, their codex supplements are considered defunct. Or the exact word they used was retired. So they're getting like all the normal stat line upgrades that everyone else is getting. They're also getting confirmed to be new detachments. So I'm very curious to see what they're going to end up looking like. Plus, as well as like, you know, what is like our data sheets getting reworked, stuff like that. So it'll be big for kind of all Space Marine players. Like, it already, like, Codex really still is for even the Divergent chapters, but like this is even bigger. Space Marine players are going to be eating very good regardless of what kind of Space Marines they play. Okay. So it's 2 units of 3 bikers. Okay. Like I said, I haven't really looked up the bikers too much. At least not as much as I kind of should have been. But that's just how it goes, yeah. Alright, and 34 and 33. I don't know. The Orc bikers, they're cool. They just don't... They're not what I want out of my Orc army. And that's fine. Everyone has their own little thing. Dang, this guy's like full out. He got a I think that's supposed to be like a stretcher, a bed or something. You know what they really ought to do? They really should release casualty tokens. Love to see those come back. You know, do like some just do some generic stuff. So do like Space Marines, Cadians, stuff that you can reasonably see everywhere and in multiple armies, and then maybe like some form of Xenos. You know, take your pick, really. Just let me add some variety to my battlefield. Give me some gubbins. Give me the bits and the bobs. I guess we didn't discuss. They did show off. We're getting new intercessors. The new band vets are confirmed. They have shields, which was likely, but you can never be too sure. So that'll be neat. Let's see. So 61. You want here? You want there? Space Marine, or Space Marine Tim. Dumb Marine Photography, also known as Tim, says, was thinking that with everyone together is the reason we're getting the Codex later than the Orcs for Space Marines. Quite possibly. I don't know. I know it's not the first time not the first time Space Marines haven't been the first Codex drop. From what I remember, in 9th Codex, Space Marine, Codex Necrons dropped at the exact same time. In 10th, Space Marines did drop after NIDS, but I don't remember when it was. Someone could look that up. That'd be appreciated, because I'm actually curious. I know they came later. I just don't remember exactly when. Is this the right buddy? They always tell you to put like this cover after. I feel like it fits better in, and it's easier to figure out how it fits if you do it. If you do the cover first. GW for you. They make broadly good instructions, but sometimes it's just like, I feel like this needed more time to cook. There we go. But yeah, that could be it. That could just be a little delayed because of that. I know some people were talking about potentially there was some kind of production delay, but I don't think that ended up panning out, but I could be wrong. It is I say that. It's actually not coming that far after Orcs. It is confirmed for October. Orcs drop technically the end of the first week, kind of early second week of September. The Space Marines could go up for pre-order as early as like the 12th or 19th and still come out in October. So it's about a month difference. Well, yeah, I know they came out. I know Tyranids came out first, Spawning Fire. I'm just curious how big of the gap between Tyranids and Space Marines was. 65 and 66. Yeah, we definitely need some more variety in this here audio, ladies and gentlemen. It's like the 5th time I've heard this song, I swear. Promise if I do that, then I have to try to remember just how I set up the music. It's been a minute. I know it's in a specific folder. I think if I just add stuff to the folder, I'm fine. I don't think I have to do anything special, but I've been wrong before. 64. Fire says it was a couple weeks. Okay, so they were a little closer. Rather than the month to month and a half we're going to be getting. Depending on exactly when they do this, but... I do want to see what else is in the release. I know we talked about, obviously, the Rhino. Land Raider seems likely. It was a rumor for a while, and the guy was wearing a Land Raider shirt in it. Right. Then we have 6-8 and 6-7. Tristan, I'll add whatever you guys want, as long as it's royalty free. And I'm not going to get a copyright strike. Here's 68. Excuse me. Yeah, some kind of hiccups, but I feel of it. Like that. Why you gotta remind me? Why you gotta remind me, Tristan? I was feeling good, but now I'm hurting. Anyone that hasn't heard, Dolly Parton has passed. I know she was older too, but it felt a little out of nowhere. Hard to say, kind of excited for the Captain on bike. I hear he's pretty decent. I do have bikes and ATV. That is one thing I am actually. So I don't have like any immediate plans to pick them up. They're more of like a mid-term goal, but I do want to pick up the new Outriders and Space Marine Captain at the same time. I would like to run a few bikes in my Templars occasionally. I mean, if Codex Space Marines, anything like... Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, chat. Oh, I heard it. It's over here, I think. You can see it. Hold on. Tragedy averted. Right, anyway. What was I saying? Oh, I would like to add. Nope, that's not even the piece. Oh no, tragedy. Tragedy ongoing, chat. Tragedy ongoing. Oh god, where'd it go? I heard it. I definitely heard it. There it is. Is that it? You can see how they were in similar shape. But yeah, I would like to run bikes with my Templars. I like to lean into the kind of knight aesthetic a little bit more, where I can here and there. So like that. Frankie says, I have lots of Space Marine bikes and a Mario Kart to go with the new Captain. It all doesn't seem very Blood Angels-y though. Might be fun anyways. I mean, that's fair. Blood Angels very much like their kind of like their flyers and jetpacks and stuff. Or jump packs. And obviously, it's good news for Dark Angels. Like new Outriders, new bite characters. That's a good sign for new Ravenwing. Don't worry, I did it. I saved it. Tim says do YouTube Studio. Yep. That's what all these are pulled from. I'm just saying, like, in general. If you guys have any like specific wants, yeah, let me know. Tomorrow is potentially a new data slate, isn't it? Have they said anything actually about that? Or are we all just assuming it because it's been a month? Which is weird to think. That month went by fast. August is over next week. Ugh. That reminds me, I do a couple things at work. Crap. Okay, they did say it. Okay. I probably just missed it somewhere. I just didn't. Like I said, I figured it no matter what, but I hadn't heard anything specific, but. So I haven't been paying as close attention as I probably should be, but that's neither here nor there. But I mean, to be fair, Perky, you're gonna have to redo your entire list in like a month and a half anyway, so think of it as like a preview. Watch them drop like stat updates tomorrow. And everyone's like, no, God, no, why? That'd be kind of funny. I don't know, we're almost done building. And it's only been an hour. They said it was a heads up for the Codex release. Fair. I can tell you guys right now, just because we're going to finish this relatively early, I say, unless anyone has any major objections, I say we spend the rest of the stream checking out the Orc Codex. Sound good? $35, $36, and $37. Or specifically, I should say the Tabletop Battles review of the Orc Codex. That's what I plan to be looking at. You guys are welcome to join me. Perky says, but my goal for my orcs is 4 trucks and boys, 3 full units of bikers, Gargantua and Squiggoth. Not sure if I will put knobs or flash kits in it. Oh, I need some flash kits too. Flash kits honestly just look fun. Like, I had a pretty fun time running them on the launch stream for the edition. So, does it still have the bubble checker? Yes. The Grot gun might. Actually, I don't know. I don't think it's gotten a big change in profile. But I've been wrong before, and will be wrong again. Oh, they put a little carve out for the leg. That's neat. And appreciated. Perky says, I am fine with that. I figured you might be, Perk. I think that might be a good way to spend the last, like, what, 30 minutes or so by the time I'm done with this. Yeah, that was definitely an interesting change, Tristan, bringing Psychic back in a very real way. That was unexpected. Not complaining, just unexpected. It's also weird because they did, and then they also got rid of one of the orcs' like psyker options, which is kind of funny. The Were boy is gone. All right. 38, 39. 9. That's right, it's the banner guy. It's like, who's this? What is this guy even gonna have? Oh, there's 38. Yeah, it's interesting. There, if nothing else, the Orc Codex is very, very interesting. I think it's a fair thing to say. Excuse me. That's a good way to do this. Love this way more than how they did it on Cathay. Look at that. His arm goes right on there. Right there. Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. Oh, beautiful. Simple. Frankie's point. 11th is very full of unexpected. Seeing the Orc Codex now, I think we're starting to get a bit more of the narrative vibe they were wanting. Because, like I said, the detachments are very good, both narrative and competitively. So makes me feel good. I don't know if the core rules are that narrative, but the Codex is so far, with all of one example, have been. So, good start. Good job, GW. Power creep, potential power creep aside, of course. Alright. Banner, and piece number 40 is the arm. Yeah. And he put like a little, some of these have 3D print a little like half-inch barrier that these mats can fit in, so it just like sits up, so if anything pops off, it just like hits the barrier. There's your $1 million idea. Take that to Shark Tank. They won't fund it because they won't understand it, but I promise you. I was just praising the other arm, GW, and then you go and make this one a pain in the butt. Alright. Let that sit and dry for a little bit before we start trying to fit it to the dude. We'll go and base him. Base him, and then we'll do some other stuff. Alright. And then we'll do the butt napkins, my lord. This would actually be really good for kit bashes. Maybe like on a librarian or something. Maybe a chaplain. Have it like in front of the chaplain, and the chaplain's reading it. That'd be pretty sick. 7-3, 7-2, 7-1. You look like 7-1. And let me guess. You have a great personality. Right. You know what's not unexpected? Neuro-Heretical Wargaming. That's gonna do the thing, but I guess I forget it's automatic on this one, so when it comes up, You know, like, comment, and subscribe. You've been watching this whole thing and you're not subscribed. I mean, do it. What have you got left to lose? I've already dedicated so much time to this. This fit to that. It's like that. Got a little dot in his head, I think. Let's go like that. Yeah, it goes like that. Okay. See it now. Slots in all nice, like. Put a little glue in there. Right. And then we're going to very carefully put him onto his base. All right. Should have says, is it a parasocial relationship if we've met? Technically, no. It's a parasocial. Then I'm curious to see Space Marine attachments and the Divergent chapter rules where they're not doing codex supplements. So I'm not sure they're not doing codex supplements. I think... So they're linked because they said the codex supplements are retired. I think they're just referring to the current ones. I think we're going to get more later on. I don't know if they'll be full paper ones or if they will just be digital going forward. That's just like, you know, pay the $10, get the copy of it. But I'm not sure we're not getting those. Specifically because they didn't say anything about like Dark Angel's Ravenwing. And I don't see those not getting replaced. And I think if they're going to replace those, they're going to want to do it as part of a codex release or codex supplement release. So I think we'll have to wait and see a bit, unfortunately. Hey, welcome to the stream, Jonathan Bowers. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of like 50-50 on digital. Because like gameplay wise, I pretty much only use the app. I almost never like crack open a book. I don't think I have in a while. Awesome shout out to our new subscriber. So that's kind of like, okay, not bad. But at the same time, I do like having the book. I like kind of being able to look through it. I like they've re-expanded the lore section, and the books are cheaper now, which is awesome. I think the Orc Codex is like $30. I need to double check that. It might be like 35, 40, but it's cheaper than it used to be. So I don't know. Kind of, I could go either way. I like both, honestly, and it's gonna get updated no matter what, just for balance of keeping the game fresh. So I'm not too concerned on it. I mean, I'll probably admit I'm kind of the opinion that part of me does miss the like rules expansions they used to do. They do still like release free stuff and all that all the time, but I don't know. I feel like you just don't get as much as you did in the old books they used to put out. And actually, with that, it's done. We have a Krieg Command Squad. Look at that. Look at that, everybody. I mean, that's fair, Jonathan. Since I haven't played since like 07 or something. The books are dope, though. That's fair. And like I said, the newer Codex books are pretty great as far as, from what I've heard at least, for the Orc Codex. Oh, I didn't glue you down. Sorry, you won't get a full view of the commissar because reasons, but specifically, I just don't want to glue him down. I want to keep that off for potential basing and whatnot. There we go. Am I way behind? I am like way behind on this one. There we go. Ah! Alright, sweet. Alright, well, those bad boys are together, so we still got what, 40 minutes kind of left in the stream, most typically. So I think what we'll do now is we will stop and kind of take a look at what's coming up with orcs and talk about that and hang out what we think of it. So give me just a second to get that all set up for you guys. But in the meantime, hope you guys are enjoying the stream. Hoping you're relaxed. You're hobbying. Hoping you're getting plenty of hobby stuff done. And of course, also, again, welcome to the stream if you're new. Alright. Got it somewhere. Hold on. Open a new web tab. Nope, open a new web tab. There we go. Tabletop battles. Did this before. There we go. Okay. Been a second since we've done this on stream, so I'll make sure we're doing it right. Perfect. There we go. All right. Tabletop battles. They've got the reviews here somewhere. Free says, "I like digital to take places, but if I pay for it, I want a hard copy that I own." Entirely valid. Entirely valid. Like I said, I'm not huge on the... I like it for gameplay. I do still like having the physical book. I like having it on my shelf. It's like both. Is honestly, I guess, kind of the best way to describe it for me. Let's see here. Let's see. Codex. Here we go. Tabletop Battle Reviews. Codex. Orcs 11th edition. Alright, so... let me pull up... let's scroll down to the attachments. These are the ones I'm really interested in, right? I'm going to give you guys a preview of my vision for my list a couple Sundays from now. They'll be running on stream. So first up, I want the Runt Swarm. This is very much a collection list. That's kind of what I've got. I have 50 grunts, 50 like Gretchen. So have your Runt Swarm to benefit them. Very useful. Let's see. Then I want Dread Mob. If you don't know, or if you watched before, I have a very big Dread Mob, or not big Dread Mob force, but I have a sizable chunk of my orc collection is Killicans. I have like 12 currently, and what is it? Or no, I have 9. I got 9 Killicans and 2 Death Dreads. Love them to death. And then finally, I want Flyboys. Alright. Let's set those aside for a second. Let's come back up here and kind of look over what's changed with WoW. Right? It's like it's gonna be one of the bigger changes. So I love them to death. See, Tristan, you're dead on. You're dead on. I love them to death. I love them to death. So the WoW has reworked a nice little bit. So it has a couple different things. At baseline, you still have advanced roll. You can reroll advanced rolls all the time. Awesome. That doesn't go away. You do still have the WoD turn, and when you do that, you get the Riled upstate, and this will come into play later. So the Riled upstate gets you 3 things: 5 up invuln, you get advance and charge, and you get assault. 5 invuln on orcs, awesome. They have high toughness, but low wounds, right? Generally speaking, for like the regular dudes. Invuln, awesome. They don't have a great save. Advance and charge, amazing. Everything in orcs likes to crump on some level. They're not all good at it, but they like it. And then assault. Orcs, not famous for their shooting. Not famous for good shooting, I should say. However, you give them all assault, they can advance and charge. They're running and gunning the whole time. That's awesome. I love that. So, good use roll, get it once. But because it's part of Riled Up state, it does play into other things. So if we go over to, we'll take the first look at Flyboys. This is the one I'm kind of looking, this one that made me get 2 orc flyers. This looks really, really fun. So, Flyboys, it's 1 DP, which like I said earlier, all of the detachments are 1 DP except for Warhorde. It is also Reconnaissance, not great, not terrible. So, but Skyborne Loons, right? So first, aircraft don't affect strategic reserves. So you can go absolutely ham on the number of aircraft. You could, I don't know if it's enough points. We'll have to look at we won't know what the points cost for another week and a half. But it's entirely possible you could end up having an entire orc army without a model on the board. And I love that because they've got 4 different flyers profiles. Now, I know I can hear you. Brenden, how do you do that? Someone has to be a warlord, and we'll get to that in just a second. But the more Spartan, like Tabletop Battle says here, when they are riled up, they get +1 to hit on their ranged attacks. So all aircraft and Defcoptas get +1 to hit when they're riled up. At least once per game, that's great. That's awesome. Like, orcs usually hit pretty hard. They just have trouble actually hitting, right? Now, this is where it all comes together, though. The Fly Boss. So this is an upgrade. The aircraft becomes a character, which means they can be your warlord. So in theory, this is how you could get a null start army. But my personal favorite part of this, each time he ends an ingress move, and mind you, he is an aircraft, so every time he comes on the board, he makes an ingress move. All aircraft and Defcopters in 6 inches are riled up until the next turn, which means they get the WA bonuses. They get their 5-up invuln. They don't really care about advance and charge. They don't care about assault, but they get their invuln, and they get this +1 to hit. And mind you, at the end of your opponent's turn, aircraft come off the board, which means when he comes back in again, this goes off again. So like, this is like these two, like you get 2 or 3 of these, and they are one hell of like a damage output and a distraction card effects, because your opponent has to put stuff into them to kill them, because they're gonna have a 5-up invuln every single turn. Like, this is awesome. I love this so very much. I'm very much looking forward to this, especially on the WAS bombs, because those are supposed to be like, those have from what I've heard, have a really good profile. And then also as an upgrade, you can do Impulsive Recon. Basically, kind of gives them drop pod where they can come in the first movement phase. Not great, not terrible. If you have the points, you throw it on one of your non-character ones. That would be really good for staging Defcopters, and then coming in, getting them riled up so they do get, because you can do, oh yeah, because you can bring in strategic reserves at any point in the movement phase. So say you have staged, say you've staged some Defcopters, like, not mid-board, but a little close to that, at the end of your last turn. These guys come in the next turn. Those guys are now riled up. They now have advance and charge. They have moved jet, because whenever they do the ingress, so they can then advance and charge and shoot. And Defcopters, surprisingly good in melee. So I think, love this. I don't know if I want to get any Defcopters, but I love all of this so very much. Tristan says, 1 sack done. Congratulations. Guys, everyone, Tristan has 1 sack. You heard it here first. Let's see what else we got going on here. Final blast jet. So we got the stratagems, right? And the stratagems look really, really fun. And this is like, a lot of this stuff is very thematic and good, which is why I love it so much. So flying headbutt. Instead of blowing up like you normally would, rolling to explode, your guy turns into a kamikaze, right? He just picks out a unit was within 12 inches, and you roll 8d6, and for each 4+, you get a mortal wound. So you're getting somewhere on average probably between 3 to 5 of these every time. Fantastic for, like, you know, the land raider you couldn't quite kill in your turn and stuff like that. Love that. And can also really screw with your opponent's like shoot priority if they're not careful. Then we've got long uncontrolled bursts, which is kind of neat. You know, like Tabletop Battle says, love the name, love flying headbutt too. So this one's kind of cool. So when you use it to use on aircraft or devcopters, right, Frankie, it's pretty great. It's really, really great. I'm telling you. Flying headbutt the Nightbringer. Tristan gets it. Anyway, so long uncontrolled burst. This might go on Nightbringer too if he has fly. So when they target a fly unit, mind you, remember, this is not aircraft, this is fly. So this also includes things like, what is it? Actually, I guess I don't know if it would work against aircraft. So I don't know if they have fly. I think they do. Anyway, but yeah, this means it also works against like jump pack intercessors, storm boys, vanguard veterans, a whole lot of units. But anyway, it gets full hit rerolls, and that's amazing for orcs. Bring it first says storm boys. So when you're referring to, nothing in this affects storm boys. Storm boys are in a different one. We can check that here in a second, actually. Then you get reactive move for devcopters, which is fine. Not great, not terrible. So yeah, this one like looks solid. I love this. I love this so much. I think you can slap this onto almost any plan, and it works out great. All right. Let me see if I can pull up the Storm Boys one for you. Just, I think it's Tactical Brigade, which feels a little weird, but kind of makes sense when they describe it. So it's not like Diet Imperial Guard anymore. All right, so Tactical Brigade, 1 DP, taking holes, especially well organized. Yeah, Storm Boys gain battle line, and then any boys, commandos, Storm Boys unit, they can fall back and charge. Solid, not great, not terrible. We got a couple enhancements. We got Kill Commando. An infantry warboss or Big Mac unit gains ability to lead commandos and has infiltrators and stealth as long as they're leading a unit. That'd be pretty good. Put up a whole bunch of commandos with a big beefy warboss, which I think they said DHE wise is actually pretty good. You can also do an upgrade for throat slittas that gives commandos or storm boys lethal against non-monster / vehicle targets in melee. Kind of interesting. So when they wrote this, they say, it's kind of whatever. It isn't consistently transformational for what they can tangle with. Both units tend to not be long for the world after hitting combat. Mind you, they said this before GW went public with the new Space Marines. Lethal hits, assuming they're not strength 5, which they could be. Actually, I think they might be. It actually might not matter that much. But it does make it easier to punch up into Space Marines. So it's not terrible, but like I said, 15 points for a unit that's probably going to get schwacked the next turn anyway is kind of meh. Then you got Dubious Restraint. Activate start and in the movement phase. Secure one objective that boys, commandos, or storm boys is controlling. So gives you OBSEC, or gives you sticky. Mind mostly on the mission. Love that. Boys, commandos, storm boys can advance / fall back and still action. Hey, very useful. A bit, situational, of course, but good to have. Never just a bad thing to have. Then, while their backs are turned, at the end of the opponent's movement phase, an unengaged boys, commando, storm boys unit that started the phase engaged can make a normal move of 6 inches. Solid. Just solid. It's not even like it's not even a reactive move. It's just something they can do. So you don't have to like, it doesn't have to be someone within a certain distance, but you can like have a dude out and then hide him. Alright. Alright, so kind of back to what I'm digging. So again, Flyboys, my favorite, 10 out of 10. I will take this somewhere almost every time. Only a couple of this where I wouldn't want to take this, especially because I don't have that many points. Anyway, up next, Dread Mob. This is the one that I really made me want to start collecting orcs initially, was the 10th edition version of Dread Mob. Still kind of similar, still got to try that button. So shooting or fight phase, when a friendly orcs walking unit except Titanic is selected to attack, you can either roll 1 or 2d6. If you roll duplicates, you reroll till you get different results. On a 1 to 2, your unit gets +1 attack. On 3 to 4, they get +2 strength, and on 5 to 6, they get +1 AP. If you roll 2d6, then when the unit has attack, the unit makes 1 hazard roll. And like I said, it's just 1. So this is good for like killicans, because you only roll 1, and only 1 can takes the damage. You don't have to roll for all of them anymore, which is pretty solid. Then we got what? Cyborg Boosta, big mech or mech only. The smallest +2 movement. Not terribly exciting, but not, like they said, not terrible. So like I said, maybe the Docker rig would be useful. Now this one is the main reason I kind of want to take this attachment, in addition to that rule, because that's just fun. Dread Herder. So they mentioned in the preview that Docker rig was leading killicans, which at the time made a lot of people think, oh, it's going to be leader now, and it can specifically lead like killicans. So that's actually not the case. So it is not leader, it cannot lead at this time as far as I am aware. However, you can give it this enhancement, and while it's within 3 inches of an orc's walking unit, excluding, a Docker rig, it gets lone op, and you can pick 1 friendly orc's walker within 3 inches in your shooting phase, and it gets reroll hit rolls of 1 until the end of the turn. And that includes the Docker rig itself. So that is fun. Having a big unit that your opponent can't target, that you can basically use other kind of tough units as a blade of wounds, is cool. Like, these things will get up the board even outside of a WA turn, and I love that. Honestly, might get a second. That's an enhancement, so I can't give it to 2, but probably end up looking at getting a second Docker rig anyway. But like this with like a big unit of 6, shoot, 6 killicans, that looks pretty fun. Then we got Crazed Rampage. The fight phase, enemy unit targets a friendly orc's walker except Titanic. Then unit fights on death on a 4-up and gets +3 to the result if it's a Death Dread. So it goes off on a 1. Which is so funny, because they could just say, oh, it always works just in. But, I don't know, giving it +3 just feels extra orc, and it makes it just so over the top and unnecessary. So yeah, like say they get their elite unit into the Death Dread and they kill it, which, pretty decent target for like an elite, like Inner Circle Companions, Sword Bros, Victrix. And like, so this means the Death Dread basically automatically gets to fight it back, which is awesome. Dread Power. Used in your movement phase, pick a friendly orc's walker unit. That unit is riled up. Build start every next turn. A 1 CP advance and charge strategy is good. So yeah, you can just yeet a unit across the board. Like, nothing bad with that at all. And they'll still shoot and do all of its stuff for 1 CP at any point. Not even like phase locked or anything. Well, not phase locked, but what's the word I'm looking for? Turn lock or anything like that. Let's see. So Stomping Juggernaut, using your movement phase or charge phase. Friendly orcs walker unit. Mind you, this one does not say Titanic. They get mobile. In theory, that applies That means it actually no. Does the Stompa always have mobile or no? 1 CP to give a Stompa mobile is really good. Most of this doesn't really work for the Stompa since it excludes Titanic. The Stompa, since it's always riled up, I don't think it needs it. So yeah, this one's fun. A lot of yeeting across the board. I like that you can use a big mech like a runt herder. So I'm looking forward to that. One fire says throwing your guys sounds so beautiful, doesn't it? Doesn't it, wanting fire? Isn't it amazing? And then finally we got Runt Swarm. So this one is probably the one I would probably swap out here and there depending on what I'm wanting to run. As I said, I have like 50 grunts. Keep on calling grunts. 50 Gretchen. So obviously I get a lot of benefits from this just by collection. So obviously you could swap it out for boys and take one of those attachments instead. Or like Madcap Mechs, which we can look at here in a second. So this one is 1 DP and priority assets. Obviously with this number of, well, a crap ton of Gretchen, priority assets isn't bad. You're gonna have a lot of cheap stuff to do actions. Alright, so it adds a whole bunch of buffs for the Gretchen unit. But just that unit. So other Grotz units, like mech guns or killicans, aren't affected by this. So they have some benefits elsewhere. They have object secured, so they make stuff sticky. Where is the detachment rule? Here we are. So Gretchen get battle line. So if you ever want to run 120 Gretchen, this is your detachment. So they can advance and do actions, fall back and do actions. That pairs amazingly with priority assets. For hopefully obvious reasons. Priority assets want you to do a lot of actions. You have currently a 45-point unit that you can just throw at an objective, do an action, that they survive. Awesome, it's sticky. If not, it's 45 points. You'll be fine. Then also, so they do have some enhancements. You can give extra sneaky. The unit has a -3 detection range, so 12 inch by default, 9 inch if you manage to go to ground. So it makes Grotz just that extra little bit hard to hurt. Not sure if this is an enhancement or an upgrade. I don't know if you need like a runt herder in the squad to do this or not. This I like. This is funny. Minefield duty. So these guys are designed to go out and clear the minefield, much like my Penal Legionnaires. So they get Scout 6, as long as they're not embarked, so you can't throw them in a truck and give the truck Scout. Okay, this has to be... Okay, they're both upgrades. Okay. It's like, you can do it on Zagrod, it has to be an upgrade. So let's see. So you get 6 as Scout. They're recommending doing it with like a big unit with Zagrod. So you can kind of yeet them up the board. And do objectives, stuff like that. And if they die, bring them back. So we'll kind of go into that next. So they have Infested Warzone, which is the classic bring your dudes back enhance or stratagem. Yeah, it's like what we've seen with Kroot, what we've seen with Guard. It's basically that. And Gretchen are cheap. You know, bringing back a 20-man unit. Tristan says, ah, yes, Minesweepers. Look, oh no, the Gretchen are playing Minesweeper. But yes. I think it says, where to say here? Oh, we need to go over to boss, but it's pretty easy to get extra CP in an Orc army, which is why I need to actually grab Nazreg. But they mentioned here that it doesn't specify you don't bring back characters. So it will be interesting to see if that doesn't get changed or if that remains. But like I said, even if you don't, it's still good. Scarper, which is apparently a British slang for, like, I guess in the United States we'd say scatter or like run and hide. So you have a reaction move of D6 or flat 6 for an attached unit. So if you have a runt herder or Zagrod with it, they just get flat 6. Oh yeah, because that can make them really hard to shoot. You could like jump into cover or something. Oh, apparently runt herds are comically cheap. 10 points. 10 points for runt herds. Fascinating. So I don't have any of those. part of the change to Gretchen is that they don't have to have it. I was kind of hoping, you know, I wouldn't have that. So I would just be able to get away with not bringing them, but I might have to source some somewhere. And this is my personal favorite right here. This is the one that I'm going to get a lot of use out of. Grot shields. So when I think it is too, Tristan. I'm definitely sure I've heard of it before. I didn't really think of it as like British slang, but I guess it is. Anyway. So grot shields. Used when the opponent targets an orc infantry unit that's not Gretchen with shooting, targeting Gretchen unit within 3 inches. During that unit's attacks, each successful hit roll from the unit inflicts 1 mortal wound on the Gretchen unit, and the attack sequence then ends. So just like any orc infantry, so boys, mega knobs, a lot of stuff. There's a lot of orc infantry options. Flash gits, they go on the grots instead, which I find decently hilarious. Like the orcs are actively using grots as shields, so they don't have to take any damage. It's fantastic. Like sacrificing, 35, 45 point unit to save flash gits. Awesome, perfect. And there was another detachment that I do kind of want to run with flash gits because it'd be a very, very good mix in. But I need to get flash gits first. Yeah, for 1 CP. Instead of the low price of 1 CP and a handful of grots, you just put 10 grots within 3 inches of flash gits with the express purpose of sacrificing them. Awesome, love that. Does specify if you activate it, you can't use Infested War Zone on the same unit in the same phase, so you have to be a little careful. But yeah, this is great. 2B upsides, great for covering your bases, scoring a low price point, and Grot Shields is great for protecting elite infantry or Gazgul. Love it. Love every part of that. Love every single part of that. And yeah, that's kind of basically the list I'm going to run without getting too specific, because I have to see points and list build. But we got Flyboys coming in doing damage. We're going to have the Dread Mob moving up the board. And then we're going to have Grots doing actions. It's going to be great. You guys are going to love it. Alright, so that's kind of what I'm wanting to run. If you guys would like to see any specific detachments, or if they talk about, fix that later. If they're talking about, look at any, not data sheets, but anything that's different, let me know. Be more than happy to. We've got like 15 minutes here. So obviously as well, feel free to ask any questions you might have. Alright. What else we got? We'll go ahead and, while we wait, see if there's anything you guys want to look at, we'll go to Madcap Max. This is the other one I love the theming on it so very, very much. So Madcap Max, take a look down here. It is 1 DP. It has Disruption. Tristan has been digging into Disruption a bit. I myself not personally a big fan. It just doesn't appeal to me. That's about it. I don't have any big feelings on it one way or the other. What was the buggy one? Yeah, we can pull up the buggy real quick. You guys got priority, so it should be, where is it? Blitz Brigade? Or no, Cult of Speed. Blitz Brigade is the one I was talking about, where trucks and battle wagons get ones. Excuse me, so we can take a look at that as well. We'll pull up Cult of Speed first. So Cult of Speed for 11th edition, again, 1 DP. Gives out Reconnaissance, not bad. Alright, so Warbikers get Battle Line, and any Speed Freaks unit can advance / fall back and charge. Oh, okay, so they just get advance and charge all game. Nice. Oh, they also get Assault. Okay. So they actually get that's fair, Tristan. I need to try. Recon's probably what I'll actually try. Recon or Priority is what I'll run that list as. I haven't decided exactly which yet. Like I said, Disruption just doesn't, I don't know. Maybe I see a look at it more and see if I can get a feel for it. But yeah, so you get Battle Line, you get Advanced Fallback and Charge, and you get Assault. So you're actually kind of constantly in a wah, which is you're constantly riled up except for the invuln, so that's interesting. Let's see. So we got Smoky Gubbins, Speed Freaks, except for aircraft, so this will apply to like I think the Wazbama, or I guess several of the aircraft Speed Freaks. They may all be Speed Freaks actually. Okay, so basically we're smoke. They get okay, so it's kind of like smoke. I don't know if it doesn't sound like it applies to the unit itself, but applies to the unit will give cover to things your opponent targets that are behind it. So if you're like screening with the bikes and say you've got a Stompa Death Dread behind it, you can give it cover, which solid. A bit situational, I feel like, but solid. 10 points. And if you got 30 points, which isn't that hard to end up with, or 10, like 25 to 30 points, I felt it's been pretty easy to kind of get in an awkward zone currently. Throw on a couple bikes, throw up some smoke screens, you know what I'm saying? Then Death Killer War Trike, they can reroll charge rolls. Okay, so solid. You can just can the War Trike lead bikes? Do you know, Frankie? Because that'd be really good. Help you get some bikes in. Try and make that big yeet across the board going on. You know what I'm saying? Especially because you have army wide advanced fallback and charge. Or advance and charge. And stratagems, we've got delicious eating squigs. So in the movement phase, you can pick a Rucka Truck Squid Buggies unit, any number of Orcs infantry units within 3 inches of that unit. Heal 3 wounds. Okay. So you can just like move Squid Buggy up, heal everyone. It's in the movement phase. So you can do this before or after it moves. That's kind of interesting. That could actually get you extra movement on the boys too. You can throw it up next to them. That's fair, Frankie. We'll scroll down the thing and see if it's there. See if it specifies there. I don't know off the top of my head, unfortunately. I'm not that familiar with orcs. Well, then Daka Storm. Using your shooting phase, you say Speed Freaks units to shoot. That's fair, Frankie. This is basically mine too, so. They have sustained hits 1 on their gun, so yeah. Pretty straightforward. Oh, trucks are Speed Freaks. That also works on anything in the firing deck, so you can do some really dumb stuff with flash kits in a truck. Then Speediest Freaks, using your opponent's shooting phase when any unit targets a friendly Speed Freaks unit. Range attacks that target your unit fail on unmodified hit roll of 1 to 3, so they can't hit you anything less than 4s. And let me tell you, having had a similar rule with Black Templars in 9th edition, awesome. That's great. Like, genuinely great. And it's also a Speed Freak and doesn't specify it can't be aircraft. So that's pretty good, Frankie, if you're also wanting to run Flyboys. Oop, not you. Because they're Speed Freaks as well. In fact, I think it calls them out. I think it calls that out down here. Cult of Speed. Yeah. Keep planes alive. Alright, anyway, back in here. Talking a lot. Don't normally talk this fast. Tristan says, I got these awesome pork rinds seasoned with red pepper and MSG. I think it's what a delicious eaten squid would taste like. You got me a bit on that one, Tristan. Thank you. My wife actually made gnocchi tonight with some red peppers. I don't know if I've had red pepper flakes before, actually. Sorry, I've seen red pepper. These were like red pepper flakes. I don't know. It's a very interesting slow burn. I don't know if I've had this before. It was good. It's really good. So yeah, that's basically Cult of Speed. Like I said, they're all 1 DP, so there's going to be a lot of small detachments. You're going to have like 2 to 3 stratagems, 1 or 2 enhancements. I think they're all interesting, so. We got that. Then if you're wanting to focus on like your trucks and stuff, you got Blitz Brigade. Blitz Brigade is 1 DP take and hold. Interesting. Definitely maybe a bit more on the take side than the hold. This one I haven't actually looked at all. Let's scroll down here. So wagons can reroll charge rolls. Bringing fish as I live for red pepper and hot sauce. I'm more of a green sauce guy myself. I mean, I'll freely admit, Colorado has converted me. I love me some Hatch chili. But I won't shame the red. I'll never shame the red. Alright, so your wagons can reroll charge rolls and change any advanced roll they make to a 6. Okay. Function identical to the attachment roll and roll in depth. It's pretty good when you're still incentivized to throw these massive transfers to the board during your WA turn. This adds a great deal of consistency to that game plan contextually. However, this is a bit worse than it used to be, as the wagons themselves have fewer ways to pump their damage and melee with this attachment than they did in roll in depth. Fair. All day then. Okay, so they can like yeet. And I believe the gun wagon and the battle wagon are 2 different data sheets now, so you can run a lot of them. Targeting gizmos. Upgrade for 10 points, wag model only. While Big Mac is embarked on this unit, the bearer's range attacks have ignores cover. And if it's riled up, they get sustained hits 1. Okay. I don't think... maybe some Big Macs I think can attack the flash kits. This might be another one where you throw flash kits into... Yeah. By sticking a Big Mac and something like 10 flash kits in a battle wagon. And then it gets ignored cover and sustained hits. So they're just throwing out hate. That's very fun. Boss Boomer. Wagon only while War Boss models embarked within this unit. The bearer has that War Boss model's intimidating motivation / keep hunting ability. The way these abilities are phrased effectively lets you double up on them. Start or end a move with your wagon, roll something. Then get to make a disembark move with the War Boss and his gang, roll up another target. Depending on the points, it's a cheap way to have what amounts to an extra War Boss once per game. The Boomer could range from great to just okay. Okay. Then... Alright. We'll do this. We'll do the Mad Mech and we'll probably call it a night from there. Yeah, keep it running. At the end of the fight phase, target 1 unengaged orc infantry unit that was eligible to fight and hold it within 6 inches of a transport. That unit is able to embark within it. To embark within and embark. Okay, so it's like you get out, kill something, and then potentially get back in. Okay, it's not bad. I mean, that's solid for, like, throwing a unit at, like, chaff, like, screens that you wouldn't necessarily want to, like, you might not necessarily want to throw it at, typically, because you want to put it back in, you know? So, okay. I see some vision with it. Then we got Readied Brawlers. During your movement phase, target 1 wagon. When it ends a normal move, you can make an assault disembarks move. Okay, so this basically turns it into a land raider. That's fantastic. Love that. Oh, you throw them. It has to do a normal move. So you can't do it with the advance, which is a little annoying. But you can move with the board, so never hurts. And then Impending Crunch. One in Fire says, I'm probably going to hit the hay. You have a good night. Hope nice learning about orc stuff. Hope to have an all-shooting orc army one of these days. Fair enough. Thanks for hanging out, One in Fire. You have a wonderful evening. And as always, it's nice to have you. So then Impending Crunch. During your charge phase, target 1 wagon. When it ends a charge move, and each enemy engaged with that wagon makes a battle shock roll -1. Okay. Not terrible. It's just, you know, sometimes it sucks when it doesn't work, but it does look like there's a way to stack it. So, you know, I mean, even forcing a battle shock test, even if it doesn't work, is still pretty value added in 11th, so that's fair. All right. Then I guess we'll take a look at Madcap Max, and that'll probably be it for the night. Let me close some of these. All right, so this one I want to look at, because this is another one that's very flavorful. And unfortunately, I don't know if this is like a great flavorful attachment, but I love it. So, Madcap Mechs, by the name of it, it's good with mechs. Weirdly enough, I guess it excludes the new mech model. Funny. But everything else. So, going to detachment rule, this is the bread and butter. This is the pièce de résistance. Right, so we got, so affects Big Mech, Mech Guns, and Mech Guns, Morkanaut, and Wazbomb Blasted Jets. specifically. So when you target a single enemy unit, so if you don't split fire, you roll a d6. And they state here that it is not a can or may. If you shoot one thing, you're rolling it. So let's count down. It's cooler when we count down for this one. Just trust me on this one. So on a 6, they get -1 toughness. Easier to wound. Cool. Awesome. Love that. Funny with the new Space Marine changes. Space Marines are going to hate it when you're suddenly wounding them on 2s again. On a 5, the target gains fly and cannot have the benefit of cover until your next unit has shot. So if you get anti-fly, now that's keying off. Likewise, they're not -1 to shoot. So they can be in a great spot of cover, but now they're not. Love that. On 4, honestly, kind of the same thing. You get +1 to hit, you cancel out cover. Fine. On 2 to 3, you pick a enemy unit within 3 inches of the target, and that unit takes D3 mortal wounds. Funny. Useful enough. Hey, maybe you could take off the last couple wounds on like a land raider or something. Love that. But this is my personal favorite one. On a 1, if you roll a 1, your target gains a 4-up invuln until you're done shooting. So you actually buff the target. Because basically what it is they've built this contraption and they don't fully understand what it does. I think they said, number 1's literally called That's Weird. That could be bad. Depends on the target. Like they state here, if your target already has a 4-up invuln, it's whatever. If they don't, though, if you give intercessors a 4-up invuln, that sucks. That's rough. Side note, Tristan says 2 sacks done. Congratulations, Tristan. You've got 2 sacks. I believe in you. All right, so that's fun. That's all fun. This would be a very fun one. Yeah, see, right, Frankie? That is very orky. I love this. Thematically, I love this. It'd probably make me tilt in game at a certain degree, but I love this. And the fact that it works with like the Blastajets, and I like running mechs. I've got some combos here I think could be interesting. I don't know if it's gonna be good, but it'd be funny. I haven't actually seen Furiosa. I need to watch that. I want to add that to my list. There's something I watch here soonish. Alright, so enhancements, we have Mech-Wah Mastermind. Big mech model only. The unit is riled up. So unit, that applies to anything he's attached to. Okay, so all the big mechs have more DACA. So when they're riled up, they get sustained. So that's awesome. Nice, neat. Nothing fancy. Temperamental Shaka is an upgrade, so you can just on regular units. So I guess it's just for the big mech with shock attack gun. In your shooting phase, when this unit selects to shoot, you can roll 1d6 on a 1. The Mal shock attack gun has Torrent. Neat. But then he just dies. Once it's done shooting, he just goes away. Torrent's good. I don't know exactly what the shock attack gun does, but I'm pretty sure it's a pretty hard hitter, so love that. I'm gonna roll 2 to 5. The SAG gets +1 attack. Nice. And if you get a 6, you get sustained hits too. Don't let Jeff run this, because he will roll a 6, and then roll like 3 more 6s, and your life will be pain. This is a hilarious enhancement. And mind you, this will stack with this, I think. Maybe not. It should be a big mech. Those 2 things should stack. Alright. Then we have Enhanced Runt Maw. So this one is also for the shock attack gun. Once it shoots, getting hit by those attacks, they're, quote, infested with snotlings. So your next turn, which gives them -1 to leadership rolls. So, not bad. Alright, and then it only has the 1 stratagem, Vindictive Artillerist. Oh, give me a second. Using a shooting phase when a friendly mech gun's unit is selected to shoot. Sorry. That mech gun's unit either gets lethal hits on its own, sustained hits 1 on its own, or you get to pick these. So you can get lethal hits, sustained, or if you're not a coward, as they state here, you can get lethal hits and sustained and hazardous. Oh, always pick the third option. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? But otherwise, that's kind of it. This is kind of one of the ones I was thinking of. You could swap out for Rekka, or swap out the Gretchen one for. It'd be a bit goofier. I think the other one has more like actual play. But yeah, fun, decent. Yeah. There was one more. Hold on, I want to find something real quick. Is it Rekka's? Okay, real quick before we go away. Best enhancement in the Codex, Captain's Hat. So, it's an enhancement. You give it to an infantry, big mech, or war boss, and that gives him the ability to lead flash gets. All right, and again, he gets a pirate's captain's hat. Love that. Love that for him. Also, through pre-game redeploys. Solid, great. That's fun too. But I think they mentioned in here the reason I would want to run this with flash gets, so you can do it on the Mega Armor Big Mech, who gives his unit a 4-up invuln against shooting, and can heal. That is awesome. I love that. Oh, I'm so ready for that. I'm picking up flash gets. There's so many good flash get combos in this that I'm picking this up. But yeah, that's kind of it. It is after 9:30, so I should get calling at night. So kind of go over what we've got coming up, and that will be that. So I will meet you back at the camera. So it is Tuesday. That means it's hobby stream day. We're done with the hobby stream. We don't have anything planned for Thursday this week or for Saturday. Any Saturday side quests or anything like that. So we're taking kind of the week off to that point. Sunday, though, we will be back. At this time, it will be Chris the Bird versus Scott, specifically doing Grey Knights versus World Eaters on Sunday, and I will be producing. We look forward to seeing you guys on that. I know it's been quite a while since we've had World Eaters or Grey Knights on the channel, so we are actually really looking forward to that, and we hope to see you guys there. Otherwise, I will be here next Tuesday, and kind of ending it here suddenly, but thank you guys so much for hanging out. Awesome to have you. Shout out to our 2 new subscribers that joined during the stream. Otherwise, you guys have an awesome night, and we'll see you on Sunday. Now I'm gonna do the awkward thing where I have to turn, because I'm very good at this, and I'll say bye. And bye, everybody. Bye. Bye-bye now. Bye. Oh, God. It's finally over. Oh, no, the mic's live.